Hello, Michael here, looking at Psalm 73 again today for our devotion. This psalm may be subtitled, God is my strength and portion forever. And we're going to go ahead and focus on verse 14 through to 17 for the exposition. But let's go ahead and read from verse 12 down to 17. Verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly, who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency. And verse 14. For all the day long have I been plagued, and chastened every morning. 15. If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. And 16. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. And 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I their end. And as we turn to the treasure of David for the exposition, let's go ahead and read verse 14 again. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. And Spurgeon exposits, for all the day long have I been plagued. He was smitten from the moment he woke to the time he went to bed. His griefs were not only continued, but renewed with every opening day, and chastened every morning. This was a vivid contrast to the lot of the ungodly. There were crowns for the reprobates, and crosses for the elect. Strange that the saints should sigh and the sinners sing. Rest was given to the disturbers, and yet peace was denied to the peacemakers. The downcast seer was in a muse and a maze. The affairs of mankind appeared to him to be in a fearful tangle. How could it be permitted by a just ruler that things should be so turned upside down, and the whole course of justice dislocated? And verse 15 that reads, If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. If I say I will speak thus. It is not always wise to speak one's thought. If they remain within, they will only injure ourselves. But once uttered, their mischief may be great. From such a man as the psalmist, the utterance which his discontent suggested would have been a heavy blow and deep discouragement to the whole brotherhood. He dared not, therefore, come to such a resolution, but paused and would not decide to declare his feeling. It was well, for in his case second thoughts were by far the best. I should offend against the generation of thy children. I should scandalize them, grieve them, and perhaps cause them to offend also. We ought to look at the consequences of our speech to all others, and especially to the church of God. Woe unto the man by whom offense cometh. Rash, undigested, ill-considered speech. It is responsible for much of the heart burning and troubles in the church. Would to God that, like Asaph, men would bridle their tongue. Where we have any suspicion of being wrong, it is better to be silent. It can do no harm to be quiet, and it may do serious damage to spread abroad our hastily formed opinions. To grieve the children of God by appearing to act perfidiously and betray the truth is a sin so heinous that if the conscience of the heresy mongers were not seared as with a hot iron, they would not be so glib as they are to publish abroad their novelties. Expressions which convey the impression that the Lord acts unjustly or unkind, especially if they fall from the lips of men of known character and experience, are as dangerous as firebrands among stubble. They are used for blasphemous purposes by the ill-disposed, and the timid and trembling are sure to be cast down thereby, and to find reason for yet deeper distress of soul. In verse 16, When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. When I thought to know this, It was too painful for me. The thought of scandalizing the family of God he could not bear, and yet his inward thoughts seethed and fermented, and caused an intolerable anguish within. To speak might have relieved one sorrow, but as it would have created another, he forbore so dangerously a remedy. Yet this did not remove the first pangs, which grew even worse and worse, and threatened utterly to overwhelm him. A smothered grief is hard to endure. The triumph of conscience, which compels us to keep the wolf hidden beneath our own garments, does not forbid its gnawing at our vitals. Suppressed fire in the bones rages more fiercely than if it could gain a vent at the mouth. Those who knew Aesop's dilemma will pity him as none others can. In verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I their end. Until I went into the sanctuary of God. His mind entered the eternity, where God dwells as in a holy place. He left the things of sense for the things invisible. His heart gazed within the veil. He stood where the thrice holy God stands. Thus he shifted his point of view, and apparent disorder resolved itself into harmony. The motion of the planets appear more discordant from this world, which is itself a planet. They appear as progressive, retrograde, and standing still. But could we fix our observatory in the sun, which is the center of the system, we should perceive all the planets moving in perfect circle around the head of the great solar family. Then understood I their end. He had seen too little to be able to judge. A wider view changed his judgment. He saw with his mind's enlightened eye the future of the wicked, and his soul was in debate no longer as to the happiness of their condition. No envy gnaws now at his heart, but a holy horror, both of their impending doom and of their present guilt, fills his soul. He recoils from being dealt with in the same manner as the proud sinners, whom just now he regarded with admiration. Yes, hallelujah. When we see as God sees, as to the judgment of the wicked, it's really horrible and terrible what they have formatted for themselves by their evil doings. God be praised. God is a God of justice. Oh, praise his holy name. We trust you enjoyed the meditation today. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.